Seniors, you've made a very, very wise choice in your faculty speaker for today in choosing Dr. K, or Anton, as he prefers to be called. I assume that when you chose him because he's an inspiration and a role model, just like he is to his colleagues. I'm honored to introduce my colleague and friend, Anton Krukowski.
Wow. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2012. As scary as this is, standing up here, I'm going to do something counterintuitive and try something even scarier. I'm going to start by singing a song. So it's a fairly simple song. It's a song inspired by a children's book about insects called The Adventures of Maya the Bee. Maya is a powerful hero who leaves the hive at a young age to go explore the world, meets a host of quirky characters, and comes home in the nick of time to save the day. So this song is the song of the dark moth, who has some self-esteem issues. It's called Am I Beautiful? Am I beautiful? Am I sad? If I'm beautiful, is that bad? I always thought I was plain and drab, but the little bee said my eyes were sad and beautiful. She thinks I'm beautiful. Am I beautiful? Am I sad? If I'm beautiful, is that bad? I always thought that I was plain and drab, but the little bee said my eyes were sad and beautiful. She thinks I'm beautiful. Maybe I should stop there. So I wanted to sing this song, first of all, because it was written by my mom, Nancy Harrow, and she's pretty inspiring. She's a jazz singer and composer who has branched out in recent decades into the theater world, writing songs based on works of literature and creating theater pieces for children and adults alike. But to me, this song expresses what is one of the paradoxes of being in high school. High school is an amazing age. The world suddenly becomes much larger in multiple ways, and often in scary ways. We have asked you to confront and wrestle with the gross inequities, imbalances of power and wealth, both within this country and worldwide. The theme of the annual Oxfam banquet is a perfect example. We're forced to face our incredible access to food and compare it to the scarcity and poverty worldwide. We can't help but ask ourselves, Am I beautiful? In biology class, we asked you to consider the history of the planet as a 24-hour clock. 4.5 billion years shrinks all of recorded human history down to less than half of a second of Earth's single day. And we can't help but feel insignificant. Am I beautiful? Yet in our brief moment of time, we've managed to inflict incredible harm on our global ecosystem, to trigger the current mass extinction of species that may be the most impressive in all of history, let alone to consume enormous amounts of fossil fuels, playing with the delicate balance of greenhouse gases and global temperatures. Am I beautiful? Welcome to physics class. We end the year with a documentary about how one man, J. Robert Oppenheimer, changed all of human history by harnessing our country's intellectual and economic wealth to tap the enormous power of the nucleus and create the worst weapon in all of human history. Am I beautiful? We have asked you to look at the world and the universe at an enormous scale, and we've often made it seem overwhelming. But this is also the age when you naturally want to focus on yourselves. We all do at every age, but in high school it's natural to be pretty fascinated by oneself. So how can we allow ourselves to focus on ourselves in the face of horrible inequities, of this big bad world that your teachers are making you stare at? It's the Harry Potter dilemma. Voldemort or Ginny? Why does Harry have to be the one to save the world when all he wants to do is focus on the girl and imagine his first kiss? I think what makes Harry Potter so fascinating and popular is less about the fantasy and magic and more about the reality of it that we all experience. It's about high school. So what does it mean to be beautiful? Do we have to disown our species, our heritage, to distinguish ourselves from all the horrors of the past and present? Do we have to make ourselves larger than life and seek acknowledgement for great feats of accomplishment? Or are we allowed to be ourselves and accept ourselves for who we are? It's okay to feel small and insignificant from time to time, as long as we don't lose our sense of beauty and wonder and see ourselves connected to that beauty. We've had 2 recent remarkable astronomical events, allowing us to experience the wonder of our solar system. Making a pinhole with your hands, you get to hold the whole sun and moon, or sun and Venus, simultaneously between your fingers and cast them perfectly onto your friend's t-shirt. Connections with the natural world around us are crucial, but what is most important in my mind is making connections with each other. This is a lesson that many of you remind me of every day in and out of the classroom. I'm going to miss the class of 2012 terribly. And to quote Dorothy at the end of Wizard of Oz, after she said very sweet things to the lion and the Tin Man, she turns to the Scarecrow and says, "I think I'm going to miss you most of all." How can she do that? So I hope it's okay to acknowledge special relationships. I'm going to miss my sweet 13 advisees most of all. Andy, Angela, Kiara, Fizzy, Hansu, Ian, Joe, Kyle, Lauren, Lucas, Sabrine, Sarah, and William. I will always be grateful for how each of you regularly reminded me why I chose to become a teacher. I told my advisees about a vivid dream I had 4 years ago on the night before the first day of school. I think a lot of teachers have anxiety dreams before school starts, as I'm sure students do too. This was out on Fort Funston, up on the top of the cliffs where the hang gliders prepare for their flight. Several of my students were there preparing, and one was already in the glider ready for her flight. Now, I know absolutely nothing about hang gliding, and it seems kind of crazy to me. and I would be petrified to try it myself. But somehow I was supposed to be the reassuring one, guiding her into her flight. The key was to run straight towards the cliff, build up a little speed, and then just let go. So I started to run alongside her. I ran as fast as I could, not saying much of anything as we ran side by side, but just to be nearby, out at the edge of her wing. At just the right time, I slowed to a stop just before the edge and watched as she went soaring off the cliff and out over the ocean. And then I woke up, panicky about not knowing what I was going to teach that day, peering over the edge of the cliff. This was the perfect teacher dream, and it will stick with me. We run alongside each student. They do all the hard work, and we just make sure we're nearby if they need a smiling and panting face to be reassuring. And then we stop and stay at school and watch them soar off beautifully. It's scary and fantastic, and each one looks spectacular up in the sky. And then we get to catch our breath and walk slowly back to the preparation area to run alongside the next one. Not a bad way to spend one's time. We ask you to each be a lifelong learner who contributes to the world with confidence and compassion. You don't have to tackle Voldemort single-handedly, or be the one to solve our global environmental problems, or eliminate all inequities. But it can still feel overwhelming from time to time, just imagining how you are going to contribute to the world in your own way, even with just a glimmer of confidence. You will likely find yourself asking, what difference am I making? Am I worthy? Am I beautiful? What I urge you to do is remember how beautiful you each feel today. Let us, Lick-Wilmerding High School, be your little bee. Reminding you how beautiful you are, and it's okay to be beautiful, to enjoy and relish your beauty, and to share your beauty with those around you. That is, in fact, the way you will continue to contribute to the world with confidence and compassion, as you already have in so many ways. Thank you.